Well, I lost. I went 2 in my first judo tournament. But that's not what I've been thinking about since then. Instead, it taught me about nerves, community, preparation, and why competition accelerates learning. Here are the 5 biggest things I learned from my first judo tournament at 50 years old. Everybody at my dojo warned me about the adrenaline. Everyone. Coaches warned me, teammates warned me, and I believed them. I told myself, take my time, breathe, just like my coaches said, and it still wasn't enough. Quick side note, if you haven't watched a judo match before, for novice divisions, you don't wear your rank belt. One competitor wears a white belt and the other wears a blue belt for judges to tell them apart. At senior levels and in international competition like the Olympics, they'll wear a blue gi instead of a blue belt. Anyway, watching this back, I can see exactly what happened. I wasn't doing my normal judo. I was totally stiff and paranoid that I'd make a mistake and get thrown. That's the adrenaline pumping through me. My judo absolutely sucked. And how I felt on the mat was what I was like a month or 2 into judo training, not 1.5 years. Coming from triathlon, that surprised me. I've done races for almost 20 years. I'm still anxious before every race, but in racing, I've learned to channel that adrenaline productively. For judo, I'm still learning. One thing I didn't expect was how invested the entire dojo became in helping us prepare. For weeks, people helped me prepare during class, gave advice. There was extra focus for the competitors in training. People shared tournament stories, including the adrenaline, worked extra rounds with us. Everyone genuinely wanted us to do well. And I found it so cool how the entire dojo rallied around us. In fact, one of my classmates, Efe, even drove an hour just to watch and support me. And he wasn't competing. So that's pretty amazing when you think about it. As adults, it's not easy to build a new community, and judo has been one of the places where I've found that. I also learned that your competition doesn't just start with your first match. It starts when you pack your gi. It starts when you go to weigh-in and you make weights. It starts in the hotel. It starts while taping your fingers. I waited too long to tape my fingers, and suddenly I was stressed out because I'd left my scissors in the car, which was parked 10 minutes away. And I was fretting about ripping the tape cleanly with my teeth. Completely avoidable stress. But when it's your first tournament, every little thing feels much bigger than it really is. So this was my biggest aha. The tournament didn't make me better. Preparing for it did. I've told friends for years, if you want to get in shape, sign up for a race, like a 5K. The race itself isn't what gets you fit. It's the training, because you're now on the hook. You're committed, and you will train accordingly. So I felt dumb because I had made that connection. But of course, judo works exactly the same way. When our sensei reiterated that competition would make us better, I was like, how are a few minutes on the mat during a handful of fights going to make us that much better? Well, because I had a date on the calendar, I paid more attention. I worked more combinations. I attacked differently in randori. I was way more intentional in training, and that's what made the difference. One thing I've been thinking about a lot is how different kinds of pressure feel. I've done triathlons for years. Professionally, I presented to customers, executives, board members. I've spoken at conferences. And in those situations, I've learned to handle the adrenaline, the anxiety, the nerves. Judo reminded me what it feels like to be brand new again. It reminded me of those first presentations many, many years ago. Back then, I wasn't trying to give a great presentation. I was just trying not to mess it up. And that's exactly how I fought. My coach and my teammate Vince told me, you have to commit to the throws. Looking back, I was just tapping my opponent's leg. My biggest problem wasn't technique, it was hesitation. One of the cool things about the tournament was seeing people from my own dojo compete and seeing Josh Beam, who some of you may know from his BJJ YouTube channel, take silver in our division of 73 kilograms. I was happy to have competed and really happy that I didn't get injured during the process. I thought the tournament would teach me about winning and losing, good technique and bad technique, but instead it taught me about preparation, nerves, community, and why competition accelerates learning. So if you are an older beginner who's been thinking about competing, here's my advice. Don't wait until you think you're ready. Sign up, prepare, learn, and do it again.
If you like the video, smash that like and subscribe. Smash that like and subscribe.
Smash.